Hello, I'm Des, and this is Movies According to Des. I'm going to talk to you about Iron Jawed Angels starring Hilary Swank, who is one of my favorite actresses. She's absolutely incredible, so I knew I had to see this movie and that it was going to be good. So last week, I couldn't sleep at all. I was laying in bed and I was just like staring at my ceiling. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch a movie. Like, screw this. And it was already like 1, 2 in the morning or something like that. So I put on Iron Jawed Angels, and this movie is about women's suffrage, and it's a very big historical topic. So movies like this have the risk of being quite boring. So I put it on, and in the first few minutes, I was like, oh, I don't know if I could do this. This is gonna be boring. But I was like, I'll stick it through. Maybe like it'll help me fall asleep. But no, I could not take my eyes off of the screen. This movie was incredible. I was really shocked at how they presented it because there was really great editing, and it was very fast, like very choppy, and fast paced. It was great. And what I thought was fascinating was that this movie, it takes place in the early 1900s, but they made it very current. I think to maybe give us a feel that this could be us, because when we think of these things, we put them like way back in the past. We're like, oh, this was so long ago. But if you think about it, it really wasn't. Most of our like parents and grandparents, were alive for this, and great grandparents, they experienced this, and it wasn't that long ago. So what I was saying is that I think it's really interesting that they kind of made it current. Like, they played music in the movie from the 1990s. So that was really cool. At first I was a little uneasy about it, because I didn't know if it would go, but it really did. I was shocked, this movie taking place in the early 1900s and playing, current, fairly current songs. So that was pretty cool. It was a really fascinating contrast. I was kind of impressed with it because I didn't know if they could pull it off, but they really did. So when I see a movie based on a true story, I tend to get very involved in it and spend the next like few days to a week like researching it, and I don't know, it like gets in my mind and I can't get it out. So I spent the next week like researching everything about women's suffrage and women's rights. And this movie is based on the women's right to vote. Hilary Swank plays Alice Paul, who is a big advocate for women's rights, and they kind of focused on, they actually talk about it in the movie because there's so many issues. But when you have so many things that you're passionate about, you kind of have to focus in on one to really make a change, because these women, they focused on giving women the right to vote. So there was this whole group of women. They were, known as Iron Jawed Angels, and they focused on women's right to vote, and this became their full-time job. This became their life, like the sacrifices the women went through. And I actually looked it up online, because I did my research, as I always do, and the movie was pretty accurate. These women, because they wanted the right to vote and they were advocating for that, they ended up in mental institutions and in jail and things like that, and they were like force fed, and they were put in straitjackets. Like, I couldn't get over it. Like, what the government does to its people just boggles my mind sometimes. It was incredible. This was a movie that was just so inspiring, and that they kept it current, so we could kind of relate to it, because it wasn't that long ago that women didn't have the right to vote. And still there are issues with this, like men get paid more than women in the same position and things like that. So these women came with nothing, and they gave up everything they had to get women this right. And it was just so inspiring that I cried, as I often do. I cry in movies a lot. So I teared up. It was really just, it just warmed my heart. And just, I felt so bad for these women when they were, they went on a hunger strike while they were in jail, and they were force fed. And so they were like bleeding from their noses, and their throats were scratched up and everything. And it was just incredible to me that, people would do this for the rights of others. And I think it's important, really, to take that home. And if there's a cause that's special to us, you feel so helpless, but things can change. And I loved that they kept it current, that we could kind of relate to it. So I say definitely see this. I think it's something everyone should know about, women's suffrage. And I think that it's important to know that we can make a difference when things are going wrong and the government won't listen to us. Just stand up. Like, they stood in front of the White House with picket signs, every single day and night, rain, snow, everything. They just stood there with signs. And I just think you have to get yourself noticed. So this was really an incredible movie. I am never let down by Hilary Swank. She is phenomenal. She's my favorite actress. She's just I'm never disappointed by her. She really throws herself into every character she plays, and she plays important ones. She usually plays like these powerful, you know, independent, strong, inspiring women, and I really like that about her. So definitely see this movie, even if you're a guy, because, you know, you do care about your sisters, your mom. I think it's just important to, you know, not make this even about women's rights, but just change, and that you can make a difference. So see it, absolutely. I saw it on Netflix, but you didn't hear it from me. The links are on YouTube. So yeah, let me know what you thought of it, and you know how it affected you, because it affected me a lot. Still thinking about it. It was pretty good. So let me know. As always, add my Facebook group. It'll be in the description below. Check out my written reviews. The link is up here as always. And you know, keep me posted on movies coming out, what you saw, recommendations. I love it. I know a lot of you recommend movies to me, and I don't always see them right away. I do have a list of movies that I want to see, and this list is about like 300 long. So you know, be patient. It's a virtue.